the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of light. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.
Tonight we will be continuing the last... Oh, I realized I unmuted the wrong one first. Hello everyone, this is the Nameless one, and tonight we will be continuing the Lost Memories campaign. Before we get started, I would like to remind everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with all our uploads and streams. And if you would like to show more support, there will be more on the Patreon at the end of the stream. For those of you that decide to utilize the super chat, I will read those at the end of the stream as well. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump straight into it with a recap. Who wants to do that for me?
I could do that.
Go.
So last time we ended up in this small town that was stuck in a magical time loop, and there was something else kind of going on in the background, but it's like super unclear what's going on in the background. So while we were stuck in this loop, we found out that it was basically a internment camp for anyone that was thought to be part of the shit. I forgot. Guys, help.
No think.
I think that should be decent enough. You guys basically did the
Wait.
time loop through all of that.
Yeah, we did manage to successfully break it and set the guy free. Well, we only managed to set one dude free, and that's because he was like the
Everybody
only
else?
one aware of it, and he was also he had the amulet that was doing the time loops thingy, and that's what kept him alive after like everything else was like put down. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's good enough. We'll go ahead and get started. For timekeeping purposes, it is the day after that event. You guys made it into the area. This is a largely Arcanist tribe, although there are Pegasi here, more so than most Arcanist tribes. This one doesn't really have a name, but it is one that is frequent to this area.
Okay.
Doc, for your personal information, you are known here, but not for stabbing people. This is one of the more practical Arcanist tribes. Cosmo, your character is also... Your group is known, your character is not.
Okay.
So you can leverage using the Cult of the Twin Goddesses to your favor, because they are in favorable standing with most of the nomadic tribes.
Okay.
So, what do? It is morning of the day after the whole time loop debacle.
I think I want to go around and explore the area.
Okay. What is everybody else gonna do?
I will also, I guess, join in the exploration.
Okay.
You think
I'm gonna find a hole.
join them?
I'm going to see if there's any of my people here.
Okay. So we're gonna do the explorers first. Is there anything in particular you are looking for, or are you just kind of just wandering around, state of affairs kind of deal?
Joining them.
Just wandering around trying to get the vibe of the town.
Vibe check. Just do a pass.
So as you guys wander around, for the most part, it's a little more optimistic than some of the places you've been, but not quite like happy. Like you can tell that the wastelands have worn down this nomadic tribe, and especially with it being a smaller tribe. Because with smaller tribes, they have a tendency to either get run down by raiders and slavers, or taken out by psychos, something else, or absorbed by a larger tribe. So this one's done pretty well for itself, managing to stay independent.
Okay.
Little Miss Independent.
There's your general amenities. There's somebody that will sell you just about anything you can want, magically speaking, that is like doable in the time and age. So like random books, things like that.
Gotcha.
No telling whether or not they're actually useful, but you can find things here. Occasionally, what's that?
They're legit.
They are legit, but occasionally you can even find the odd memory stone. For the most part, though, the camp seems fairly quiet. They're going to be staying here for several days, so they don't seem too upset with their visitors either. Although, Muddy, you are getting quite a few odd looks. You know, it's not every day you see a walking puddle in the shape of a horse.
You act like you've never seen a walking puddle before.
To be honest, I didn't think I'd be friends with a walking puddle until we met.
I didn't think I had friends.
Huh?
I want to hug the puddle.
Oh my gosh, yes. I just immediately start crying. I'm like,
The puddle has been hugged.
puddle is just now a puddle on the floor, like a literal puddle.
Very emotional puddle.
And then I am a puddle on the floor, just like incredibly emotionally moved, and then I immediately just return back to normal form and be like, I needed that. Thank you.
Anytime.
So, with that emotional moment, we're gonna go ahead and pop over to Doc. Doc, go ahead and roll a. Do you have search?
Me?
You're not Doc.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Roll a perception at a +2. Search would have been a +4.
Hey, I made it.
Look at you actually making rules.
So as you are looking around, you do find a rather like raggedy looking tent, and in it is one of your pupils. This was one of the ones that really struggled with it. Mostly because it was a unicorn that insisted on attempting to use magic for everything.
Oh, so I beat them.
Yes. What do? He is
Publish.
currently stitching somebody. Without magic, I will say.
I'm gonna go give him a hand.
Okay. Then go ahead and roll whatever skill for suturing. Which I believe is a skill in of itself, if I remember correctly.
Not really.
No?
It could fall under physician or first aid, depending on how you want to do it.
This would be more of a physician. Could have sworn I had seen a suturing skill, though. You sutured so good. So, once you finish, the unicorn tips his hat because he has added to his costume. He now wears a top hat and says, "Thank you." He seems very not recognizing you at the moment. As he
You look
goes-
very dapper from last time I've seen you.
He blinks behind his mask and then says, "Do I know you?"
Students these days forgetting their teachers so easily.
He practically falls over his equipment in an attempt to get away with you. It's like, I didn't use magic!
I know, I saw. I've been watching you for a while.
Okay, creepy man.
He pops his head from over the trunk that he had apparently been carrying most of his equipment in and asks, "So why are you here?"
You should know how this goes by now. I drift from place to place, going to where I'm needed. However, this time I'm in need of services that you can provide.
He blinks a few times and then asks, "Did the lunatics hurt themselves?"
Lunatics? Which ones are you referring to?
The ones that you said that you were traveling with.
Oh, they're constantly in a state of... They'll be mostly fine.
He nods before saying, "So what do you need my help with?"
I need you to pass on a message to any other of our associates that you come across along doing something yourself as well. The FTC.
Okay, that part I couldn't decipher behind Your mic going shit.
The FPC. I need you to keep a close eye on them. Pass any information you have about it to any of our other trusted associates, and more so keep an eye out for what happened to the rest of my compatriots that they took.
He nods before pausing and saying, which ones? Any names? Who am I looking for?
You're going to want to keep an eye out for Blinker, Vigil, and I think that's all that one missing.
He nods and says, I may know a few people that could get me some information for you.
If you see any FPC soldiers are in need of help, don't turn away aid. But make sure that when you do help them, get all the information you can.
He shudders and says, I've been trying to avoid them. Moon, you're like a radio that's only half plugged in right now.
They go against our goals of turning this waste into a decent place. Which means, if we're going to stop them, we need to know as much as we can.
He nods and says, I'll see what I can do. Before I go looking for information, though, is there anything else you need in particular, like specific information other than about your compatriots?
Figure out what their main goals are.
He nods and says, I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'll try and see what I can get for you. There's a few rumors floating around that they've been recruiting our members as long as they're Earth ponies. So we might be able to get some good information. He looks a bit excited at this one. Anything
Also,
else? Go ahead.
one more thing before I go. Don't try to play hero. You'll be more valuable alive in passing on information than trying to take down anyone you think is special or important.
He looks slightly taken aback before saying, fine. Is that all you want from there?
Yep.
Okay.
I also grab like 3 random things before I leave.
Just 3 random things.
Give me just a second.
A spoon, a bowl.
Moon, roll 3d6. Okay.
I mean, I can't let him get too full of himself.
You end up with a roll of bandages, a scalpel, and what looks like some sort of necklace.
Why do I just envision Moon going up to, like, the guys who has just, like, a big bowl of candy in their front yard on Halloween, and he's just like, yoink, and he just grabs a freaking handful of stuff. That's all I see.
I feel like Moon's the guy that always gets caught by the like candy bowls that grab your hand when you try and take candy from it.
Like, this candy, ah!
Hey, I'll swing back at those wolves.
Okay. Is the music going?
No.
I think I heard it. That was weird. It just kind of stopped. It wasn't supposed to do that. Okay. I should also do this while I have the So, you guys ready to get moving again? Or is there more that people want to do?
I wouldn't mind asking some townspeople about where some, if any people of my faction has been by recently.
So you ask around, and for the most part, nobody's really seen a lot of your faction in this area. Considering that, relatively speaking, this is a fairly peaceful area right now. It's not a surprise either.
Yeah.
They tend to stick to areas where things are the hardest to try and lift the spirits of the ponies and other creatures there.
I figured as much.
You do, however, catch wind of a certain group of interest.
Oh.
Yes. They do mention that of the cults of the waste. Give me just a second to... Gotta make sure I got the continuity of it right. Yes. Of the currently active cults, one that has been fairly dormant, all things considered, they said that they had been seeing bits and pieces of. I will send you the name.
Okay.
But it's a group that you're fairly familiar with. But other than that, just the general usual activity in the area. None of your particular group. Also, go ahead.
I like to ask where their last spotted location was.
Nobody really has any concrete information for you.
Okay.
Doc, quick question.
Quick answer.
What did you decide to call your group?
The Ravens.
Okay.
Because of the bird beak.
I am also going to... You get carrier pigeons, but they're ravens.
Carrier Ravens.
Yes. But you don't have any personally right now, but you do... Actually, yes, you do. I almost forgot. You've had that since day one. I'm pretty sure you forgot as well.
My bird?
Yes. Doc has had a bird this whole time, and nobody acknowledges it.
Bird.
Burb.
The bird stealth roll was just so amazing that we just never knew it.
You just couldn't see past it.
Yes,
It's just-
but
It's just been living in the bottom of my bag in a cage, feeding off of jerky scraps.
this is... I'm bringing this up so that way it's a way for you to be communicated with within the day deadlines that I give you, instead of, waiting until you stumble across the next one that knows the information you're looking for. So,
Alright.
You may end up with periodic info dumps from ravens. I will also note that these are non-mutated, so you don't have to worry about trying to differentiate them between the crows and your birds. Besides the fact that ravens and crows don't look alike. If you know what you're looking at. So, do the peoples have anything else they want to do, or are they going to wake up Moop and begin traveling once more?
There's very little chance, but do they know anything about the deer?
The general answer you get is, I know there is one standing in front of me right now.
Of course there is. You knew that.
Like I said previously, your people were already secretive and they've gone basically underground, along with the majority of the Kirin. Has anybody been paying attention to the Discord chat?
What do you want, Jen? Do we have any gems?
Last I checked, no.
We're still in the town, correct?
Gemstones?
What?
What are you saying there's some of?
We're still in the town, right?
Oh, we're still in it. Yes. Nobody has told me that they are ready to start traveling.
I'm ready when they're ready.
I'm good with leaving.
Does Doc have a thing he wants to do before?
Be right back.
I'll go check for the unicorn real quick before we leave to see if they got any gemstones.
Okay. Are you going to ask him, or are you just going rifling through his stuff?
I'm going to rifle through his stuff, and if he tells me what I'm looking for, I'll tell him.
So, he seems to be out of his tent at the moment, so you can go ahead and rifle through his stuff. Let's see. You do find 7 gemstones that seem to be of a decent quality.
I'll take them all and leave them a note.
Ah,
The note's just going to explain nothing more than that I took them for a reason.
okay. So, is everybody ready to travel now?
Ready.
Mm-hmm.
Moop's been woken, right?
I do not believe anybody has woken the Moop.
I'm gonna wake up Moop.
Okay. So for the sake of brevity, I'm going to say that you guys are now all together at the edge of camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Doc was the one that had the survival for planes.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a survival, and everybody else roll a perception.
Don't worry, guys. I'm a survival expert. I've been surviving out here for so long that sometimes I forget how to survive.
Just normal perception.
Yes. Doc also needs to roll a normal perception, so he can fail that too.
Mm-hmm. I did it right the first time! Yes! Oh.
Nope.
Wait, what?
You know, I was joking about that moon. You didn't actually have to fail it.
Oh, you should have been more Pacific.
Is anyone
Instead of Atlantic.
surprised?
What's that?
Anyone surprised?
No, not really. You also need to roll a perception. So does Moop.
I know C. One I haven't rolled. Brain struggle. Wow, is that a crit?
Okay, so we got
Yes.
we got 2 crits.
Oh my god! Cameo, we're fucking cool. Wait. Yeah,
You guys
Cameo,
rolled the exact same shit
we're cool.
in the same order.
We're awesome.
So
Yo.
for Cameo and Bun, as you guys are walking around along, you spot something in a small wooded area. It's not big enough to be called a forest. It's like 8 trees. But they're close enough together that if you weren't like looking around, you probably would have missed it. It seems to be a like cloth of some sort. It is a odd color and is flapping in the wind.
Is that a flag?
What do?
Investigate.
Yes, we do the investigations.
Okay. Are
I'm
you
not
going?
the only one that sees that, right?
You and Muddy are the
I'm
two.
saying that in character.
Oh, okay. Are you saying that to the party in general?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm assuming you are pointing out flag or cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cloth that seems very flag-like.
There is now general party awareness of said fabric in said tree outcropping.
What is that?
Maybe someone's just drying their laundry. We shouldn't be nosy.
It's a singular cloth, and why would it be in the middle of a tree gathering?
Maybe they're having a secret tree meeting, okay? Who are we to go and interrupt?
Maybe it's psychos?
I speak.
Say hi.
Why can't it just be a normal field trip? I'm just kidding.
Because you didn't sign a permission form.
Maybe if I knew where my parents were, I could get them to sign the permission slip. I definitely.
Just hit hats.
But you know what? It says parent and or guardian. I'm the one guarding you right now, so.
After receiving head pats, I once again melt into a puddle on the floor, and I'm just like, I miss my mom.
I don't know if I have a mom.
Does
Don't worry. I'm gonna go check it out. Y'all can stay here.
I will just try and. This is weird.
so
I'm gonna go with her.
Doc
Yeah.
and the deer, or is everybody just gonna go?
I'll stay with the puddle.
Okay. So Doc, Moop, and Argo, you guys head over. Ashling, that's the name I was trying to remember. So Doc,
That's
Moop, and
a pretty
Ashling,
name.
you guys head towards the fabric, and once you guys get closer, Doc, I need you to roll an area knowledge before I describe this.
Nope.
Okay. So, as you approach the what appears to be the destroyed entrance of a bunker, the fabric across the front of it is a black flag with what appears to be a crudely stitched globe with white triangles all around it and a set of horns on top. The triangles are set into the globe, so looks like they're piercing it or something like that. Doc, you find it familiar, but you're just not able to place where you've seen it before right now. It does give you a, this isn't the best thing to see kind of feeling, though. What do? The door to the bunker is basically ripped off its hinges and looks like there is a ladder that goes straight down.
Over. Right.
I call out, "Hello? Anyone here?"
There is no answer. Also, for Cosmo and Muddy, Nebula is also with you guys, so that
Okay.
do not forget she exists again.
I remember. Nebula's my bestie, right? Nudge, nudge.
Nebula
Nudge, nudge.
Nebula gives a nod.
Yes!
Gone ng bunker.
So, for the group in front of the bunker, what do?
Going in.
You go in?
Mhm.
Do the other
Yep.
two follow? Okay. Doc?
I also follow, pistol drawn.
Okay. So you guys get down into the bunker. It is pretty dim. Most of the light is coming from the outside at the moment, which is not much. So any perception, search, or anything like that is going to be at a -1. For those of you that don't have some sort of dark vision. So the area that you come into, there's 3 hallways. One of the one to the left is caved in. The one straight forward looks in bad shape, and the one to the right is in mostly decent shape. It doesn't look like it's about to crash like the middle one. What do?
Right. I'm not risking myself in the middle.
I need to turn you
I'll
up,
go
Argo,
on
because I am.
TV.
Viene solo. Ay,
So right?
sí.
Is everybody going to go right, or?
I wanted to go through the middle one.
Okay. So we're gonna start with Argo. Doc, which one are you going down? Left is blocked off, middle is shaky looking integrity, and the right looks like it's going to be able to hold for a while longer.
I'll go right.
Okay. So we're gonna start with the 2 that went right. So Ashling and Doc. As you guys get to the end of the hallway, it appears to be some sort of office type area. There's desks that have been basically ripped apart. Destroyed paperwork is everywhere. It looks like somebody came here looking for something and did not find anything. What do?
Can I try to read some?
So checking through the paperwork, for the most part, it seems to be like logistical stuff for the ones that you can read. Occasionally you do find things that are marked top secret, but most of those have either been covered in black marks or mostly destroyed.
Do
Go
is
ahead.
the
Do either of you have tracking? Because I feel like tracking would be... Tracking or survival would work for this, actually.
survival?
So if you don't have tracking, then go ahead and just roll a regular survival.
If you don't have survival, do you just die?
No. So the area that you're in, a lot of the damage seems to be very recent. Granted, some of the wooden portions that were okay-ish in their preservation, it's hard to tell, but there are burn marks that are still warm. What do?
Look, can you? This still feels warm to you, right?
Yes.
That's not normal. This must have been recent. Did you notice anything about the plaque? Anything familiar? By any chance, when I was going through the papers, was there a name of whatever the logistics were for?
The paperwork had, for the most part, been defaced to a point where it was impossible to ascertain anything other than a few Equestrian Monarchy seals. So you do know that this is an Equestrian Monarchy base, but you don't know what its purpose was.
So no Equestrian Monarchy, but nothing really else. Can I look around the room just to see if there's anything else?
Go ahead and roll a perception. Don't forget the -1 for the dark, unless you have dark vision. And once you do that, I will do describe, and then we will move on to Moop. So, looking around, for the most part, you don't really see anything. You see where there were attempts to, it appears to, pull open portions of the wall, but all of the spots that were targeted seemed to be dead ends. There was nothing behind the chunks of wall that they managed to pull.
Even they seem like they're looking for something.
Okay.
Let's go out and see what Moop found.
Does Doc have any comments to this?
I have a bad feeling about this. I think it might be robots.
Spooky robot.
Okay. So we're gonna hop over to Moop. Moop, as you make your way down the hallway, there are quite a few collapsed sections of it, but you are able to make your way through it. Once you get to the other end, you're greeted. The first thing you see is the decapitated head of a diamond dog. What do?
What the?
Oh. Well. I want to look around to see if I can see the rest of his body.
So it doesn't take you very long to find it, and when you do find it, first thing that's really kind of sticks out about it is that's a very clean cut. You don't even need doctor skills to look at that and go, that's not normal.
someone has been sharpening their swords.
You also note that either the corpse has just gotten through rigor mortis, or it hasn't been here long enough for rigor mortis to set in. It also doesn't seem to have started to decay, and the blood is still liquidy rather than dried up. It is cold, though.
I mode because yeah. Whatever caused this might still very much be here.
Also, on the Diamond Dog's corpse, you do see the same symbol that you saw on the flag outside.
Noted.
So, go ahead and roll a quick perception to give the room a good once over. This will also give you
Perception.
yes,
Yeah.
perception. This will also give you. I'm going to subtract 1 for basically rolling an observation. Unless you have actual observation. Do you have observation?
Intelligence analyst, but not observation.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a normal perception. This will be to tell you the lay of the land of the room, and then we will use that at a -1 as well for the observation. That passes. For both. You don't need to roll again. So, as you are looking through the room, first thing you notice about the whole scene is it appears that the Diamond Dog was hit by something while facing what appears to be a blank wall that is in surprisingly pristine condition. For the most part, you can't tell what it is that exactly did him in, or if there is even another creature involved. With the number that you rolled, I'm going to go ahead and just tack all of that onto the... Assume that you decide to check the wall out. Yes, no, maybe so?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you check out the wall, you do notice that there is a seam. One that is really hard to spot, but it appears to be some sort of small door. What do?
I do want to check it out, but I'll go tell the others about this first. So I'll go back to the main hall and check out to tell the others.
So you're gonna go let everybody know what you found?
Yeah, I'll let Doc and Ashling know.
Okay. So Doc and Ashling, you have been informed of the contents of the other room.
Assurance, you say?
Mm-hmm. I'm planning to go check out the small door, but I wanted to let you guys know in case anything happens.
That was a good idea.
Mind you, though, the door is pretty hard to see, so when you guys get there, if you guys are going to be not coming right after I am, you guys may not notice it at first.
Okay. So, you gonna go and try and open the door?
Mm-hmm.
So, you get to the door, and you try to open it, and there's a click, followed by a voice. The voice asks, "Who was the youngest sister?"
Luna?
There's a moment of pause before there's a hiss from the door as the chunk slides backwards and then to the left. Kind of like disappearing into the wall. Inside is a fairly small room with the skeleton of a pony clutching what appears to be a memory stone, but it is, unlike most other memory stones, it is actually the color of a rock, like a regular stone, not a crystal. What do? It appears that this was some sort of panic room. The skeleton is in fact a unicorn, in case you were wondering.
I get closer to check out the memory stone, but I do it cautiously just in case.
So the memory stone seems to be in pristine condition. Its surface is a kind of rough, like stone-like texture, uninterrupted all the way around. It appears to be a perfect sphere. It is about the size of a softball.
There's no obvious buttons or anywhere where I can tell if there would be a button on the technicality.
Say what? Button. There is no button. It is perfectly smooth, featureless, a nice gray color. Well, I say perfectly smooth. It's like it's smooth enough that it has no seams, no buttons. It is kind of got that like rough sandpapery almost kind of texture.
I put that in my little storage, and I do want to check the rest of the room.
So the rest of the room has what appears to have at one point been some sort of ration area. It's like basically a small cupboard with the remains of food tins and something that could have at one point maybe possibly been described as some sort of food, but it's a weird oblong greenish brown thing now. It is not unidentifiable in what it actually is. There is also a scroll. The scroll is sealed with a wax seal that seems to have an intricate arcane symbol pressed into it. It doesn't look like a normal, like the seals that you would see on just a letter or something like that. This seems to be sealed with purpose. And I would also go out to say that it is in the magical side of things, so take that as you will.
I take the scroll, and I'm like, Nebula might be able to help out with this one. So I put it away, and then I look at the oblong brown green thing, and poke it.
The portion you poke kind of crumbles a bit. If you were to pick it up, it would probably disintegrate.
Tasty cinnamon challenge.
What do?
I look around and then mush it into dust.
It kind of collapses with a satisfying crumbling noise and a poof of... You hope it's just what dust of whatever the hell that was.
Okay, then I go out the room.
Why does that feel so mischievous?
So are you meeting up with the rest of your group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm assuming that means everybody is headed back to, like, outside with the party at large.
Yeah.
Wait. Before I go, I do close the room though.
Okay.
To make sure no one can just like simply just go in and out.
Where the heck did y'all go?
Into a hole.
That's very descriptive.
I mean, that's pretty normal for Moop, but not necessarily for you guys. Well, what was in this said hole?
There was this weird oblong green brown thing, and I was able to turn it to dust.
But here's some blank papers. There wasn't even anything written. You guys have the interesting stuff.
Oh yeah! Speaking of papers, I have a scroll.
What?
And I feel like you might have to be the one to check this one out because it has a weird wax seal with the intricate arcane circle, and frankly, you're our magic person.
Nebula takes the scroll and looks at it for a moment before attempting to break the seal. There's a couple like weak sparks that pop out of it, and by the looks of it, it was meant to ignite the scroll, but the magic seems to have faded. And she unrolls it. On it is written a letter that basically details like a mission to locate Celestia. And at the bottom in different handwriting, well, hoof writing, there is a signature. Sadly, though, it is very terrible hoof writing, and you cannot make out the scratchy cursive-like writing to see whose name it was. So it appears that whoever it was that penned the we'll call it a contract. Somebody signed it, was supposed to send it back, never actually did. Secret mission. I see Moon's mic went down the secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel!
Maybe this will help a bit.
Could I take a look at the flag and inspect it?
So you go to take a look at the flag?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a area knowledge.
Okay.
At a +1. Okay. So, once you get a good look at the flag, and you, unlike Doc, recognize this. You're
Okay.
fairly well traveled, but Doc hasn't seen these guys in a very long time. This flag belongs to a group known as the World Eaters. This specific group was a subsection called T-Rex Teeth.
Okay.
It's a bit odd to see them raiding what appears to be a nowhere type of bunker. Like, normally they're after big things. Like, there was one massive attempt to get into Bastion, also known as the capital of the FPC, because they were under the impression that they could get control codes for the God engines. But
Okay.
you haven't heard much of their activity of late. You can share as much of this information as you would like with the party.
I inform them that I recognize the symbol, and I explain to them what you told me about how this is an offshoot group of the World Eaters.
Doc, you know the World Eaters as a group that insists that the apocalypse that happened to this world is not done and needs to be finished. They're not terribly active because most other groups try to snuff them out when they find them. Lo and behold, nobody likes the one group that wants the world to finish ending. So they generally tend to be very quiet and secretive unless they think they've found something that will give them an edge. So, what do?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just mumbled to myself, trying to figure out why would the World Eaters be here, out of all places, when it's just a hole in the ground.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that doesn't make sense. This doesn't look like... I pull out the spear.
So you pull out the...
I don't think this is a memory stone, but I think they might have mistaken this one.
See... Sadly, Fair is not here to help with that one. You are able to ask Nebula to attempt to activate it like she would a memory stone if you would like.
Hey Nebula, can you try this one too? I think this one is like extra magic, like sneaky type though. So it has no obvious buttons.
So she does the same things that she normally does with all of the other stones that you guys have come across that didn't have some sort of activation switch or button. And it levitates in the air by itself for several seconds before a phrase appears asking the brother of the princess?
Shining armor?
After several minutes, the stone projects a new image. This time it is a blonde unicorn with blue coat. He looks absolutely frantic, and as he's like, you can see like the background of the room that you had just come from, where you got the stone. As he says, "I don't know what's going on outside, but I did it. I found Celestia, and it's worse than we thought." There's a loud thumping sound outside as he glances at what you can only assume was the door of the room before looking back at the stone. They've somehow managed to figure out how to force alicorns to become nightmare forms. They've taken her to the Crystal Empire and are hiding her under the mountains, because that's the only place cold enough that she doesn't set fire to everything. He looks as a much louder thump happens, and you see dust and shit falling from the ceiling around him. He says, "I don't know if I will be able to get this to anybody of importance. Something is going on outside." And then it cuts out as he is about to say something else.
Oh.
What do?
I don't know if it... Okay, I don't know if anyone else is going to say something, because I hear something in the background, like someone's trying to talk, and then it just keeps cutting off.
Moon, are you trying to talk?
No.
I turned up the bitrate so maybe it won't strangle your mic, because I noticed that it only seems to happen here. Was anybody else trying to say something? Okay, Cameo, if you had some...
Empire is now awake.
The what?
I say this in character. I'm like, the Empire is now a waste with those things up there that could oh shit. We're not going there anytime soon. I put the thing into my little storage area.
That's right. I don't know if they gave you that information.
What?
Oh, nothing. I will probably ask Cameo later.
In character. In character, I just seem very super nervous, and I just kind of start backing away from the group. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's move on now. Heading to that place. Yes, that's where we're heading. Not the crystal waste, just the that tiny place. Yes.
Are you okay?
I feel like
No.
Doc has...
Let's just go.
If they did, I don't remember if they did share the information or not from that section where the Cathedral Deliverance was summoned, but Doc would be the only other person that knows what is going on if they did. So we may have to have somebody go figure out that later. But yeah, so it is getting late into the day. Do you guys decide to make camp?
It's probably a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you going to make a stealthy camp, a defensible camp, or a comfortable camp?
Whatever kind of cat, there must be fire.
Let's go comfy.
Okay. Moon, you know the bonuses for all of that.
It's +2 health or +2 in health rolls for recovery.
Okay, so instead of your usual 10, if you have like just regular health, you get 12 to roll against.
Yep.
Yeah. Just making sure that everybody understood, including myself. So, who's going to take first watch?
I'll go ahead and take first watch.
The vampire is poo brain, so you guys are gonna have to do double watches without him. So, Cosmos, unless you guys have decided that you are no longer doing double watches.
Let's just sleep through the night and see what happens.
No, I've been having such bad
The
insomnia.
only one with natural protection because I bury myself and it's not obvious where I am. The rest of you guys would be caught and screwed over.
You
Especially
bury
if guys have
yourself?
The worst that could happen. Yeah, Cameo sleeps underground.
Yes.
Like an ostrich.
Wait, do ostriches sleep underground?
No, they don't.
No. The only time ostriches are, like, quote unquote, underground is when the mother is checking the nest.
Okay,
Because their nest is, like, pretty low in the ground and stuff like that. So they put their heads in to fix up their little babies and check on
So
them.
what you're telling me is
They don't bury their head. No.
Buddy, have you been playing with saltwater again?
saltwater burns.
So, are we doing a singular watch, no watch, or double watch?
Singular.
I
My
don't
bad,
have-
singular.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Cosmo already called first watch, so go ahead and roll your.
Yeah, I called first watch before.
I didn't hear you, so go ahead
Okay.
and roll for the.
Perception. Will do.
Actually, go ahead and let Argo do it.
Okay. I'll just get mine ready.
You can have the second watch, and then whoever for the last watch. Bun, don't forget your roll.
Yes.
Whoever's in the last one can make this for you.
So, Muddy gets up, and it looks like it's about to be a normal sleepwalking episode, and then she takes off at a dead sprint.
Oh shit, I got a crit fail!
I'm chasing? Chase?
Who has the
Laugh.
higher speed?
Hurricane duck bird.
Bun, what's your speed?
Must be, hold on, I need to figure it out.
It should be up in your attributes. Up in that area.
Attribute. Strength is 10.
Speed.
Oh, speed. I'm really, yep. I don't know. Basic speed, 5.75.
6.25.
So you have no problem in catching up with the sleeping Muddy as she is attempting to fly away.
Mati! I don't
Mommy!
I don't want to do this again. I try and shake Mati.
Mommy!
Same. Muddy, you're awoken by the same sensation as previous. It is not pleasant for either of you.
What the fuck? Where am I? Did you kidnap me? I'm so sorry.
It's me, Ashling. Do you see me?
Oh, hello. Where are we?
You took over the dead spring. Like, I was sitting there on my watch. You started running. I'm like, okay? So I chased you.
Peculiar. Oop, I'm gonna go back to bed.
Nope, you're going back to camp first.
Okay. Like a very slow wave, I just sort of roll back into camp and then fall asleep.
Okay. Argo, you wake up Cosmo next.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your perception. So your watch is fairly quiet. Nothing of note. Who do you wake up for the next watch?
I'll poke Doc.
Doc, you have been poked awake.
Another beautiful night.
Go ahead and roll your perception.
Glasses, Doc will hear me crying.
Good job, Doc. Good job. So, as you were doing your watch, you don't really see anything at first, and then you see a familiar nebulous cloud-like entity standing at the edge of camp staring at you.
Wait, familiar how?
She kind of followed you for several sessions up until you guys left the continent.
Oh, it's Nebula? Wait,
Do you?
is it Ghost Bitch again?
Yes.
I drive tic-tac-toe board.
She
Play
settles,
tic-tac-toe with it.
she settled us down to play tic-tac-toe with you as well. She does disappear as the sun comes up, though. Everybody that isn't Doc, roll a quick perception as you are waking up.
I am underground, man. I am not getting up and suit.
So,
Mistake.
I made a mistake! I made a mistake!
What did you do?
That's a lot of damage.
I made a mistake!
I can tell.
33 D6.
Oopsie!
And I love how it's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mommy! Please. Help me.
Everybody, as you get up, basically directly behind Doc is a very large specimen of a scarecrow. This one is made of metal, bone, and some scraps of straw and cloth. So it's not just a scarecrow that he didn't notice, it is a dreadcrow that he didn't notice. By the way, for
Man.
Cosmo's information, because Cosmo, I don't remember if Cosmo encountered one of these yet. Scarecrows are in the Legends of the Waste document I sent you, but a dreadcrow is a larger, more intelligent, more malicious version of that.
Oh no.
Yes. It is currently in its inert state. I will note, though, however, we had one pyromancer attempt to light one on fire, and it did not go well.
So fire is a no-go.
Not while it's in its inert state, because that just pisses it off. This one, however, does seem to be slightly different in that it has 2 cages, rather than just a singular cage for its torso. The Dreadcrows also seem to drop all pretenses of pretending to actually be a scarecrow.
Am I gonna be Captain on the loop? I don't know what that is.
Aisling does have a good point. She has not encountered one of these before. Is somebody also going to point out to Doc that he is sitting basically at the feet of one?
Nah, he got it.
Doc, you might want to come this way very, very slowly.
Why, do I have a spider on me?
Just trust me. Just come here quietly and slowly. Just come here.
Alright. Slowly sashay my way over to him.
Some creature. Why are we afraid of that thing?
It'll kill us all, and we're not going to. And I want to live, so we're just going to ignore it.
As far as most wastelanders are concerned, if they are not a spawn hunter, that thing is death incarnate. So, just giving you a frame of reference there, Cosmo.
Okay, I figured as much. So we're just
like the same thing could apply even if you were a spawn hunter.
At least with a spawn hunter, though, you have a chance to kill it. Remember, they have the special bullets that can break the cages. And the gemstone.
Oh, geez, that reminds me. I still have a broken gemstone of a normal scarecrow with me.
So, does Doc make it back to the group?
Doc makes it back just fine. Does Doc turn around to look and see what everybody is making such a fuss about?
Just don't look. It's just, you're not gonna look what's behind you. We're just gonna move in a direction that's not where you just came from.
Trying very hard to make sure Doc doesn't know what happened.
Yes.
Don't forget to collect Moop.
I grabbed Moop.
I'd imagine it's a lot easier for you to grab Moop than anybody else because, you have hands and can just reach in the hole and grab her.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are hands?
You what?
So,
I said, what the fuck are hands?
Claws? Talons? Digits on my fingers that I play my instrument with, but we should go.
So, for...
Upper body toes.
What?
I never heard the word.
upper body toes.
I come up from
That
the
is-
ground. What the fuck?
Fingers.
So, also, you can roll a perception as well to see if you notice the dread crow as you are whisked away by the other dragon. There is an inert dread crow that was basically right on top of Doc. He was inches away from death. Okay.
I see it.
Everybody now knows.
Oh, fuck, the dread crow!
Oh, that could have been bad.
Hello?
Running.
Unfazable. So, Doc, you can roll survival and perception, and everybody else roll perception for travel. Because I'd imagine you guys don't want to stay here now.
Nope. GTFO.
What do you mean?
Okay, so now we're doing the... By the way, who was on watch with you?
The
Did they
ghost.
see the freaking Draco?
I like Doc's answer. The ghost.
Ghost.
Oh man, I'm waiting for Nightfall so I'll see her again. Wait, but I mean, like, who from the camp was with you, like, on watch?
That's Ghosts. Are you saying that we cannot have incorporeal compatriots?
Fair point.
I'm saying she's not a regular part of our watch, therefore she cannot be this time. Is there no one else with you on watch?
No. Just me and the ghost.
You guys just do tic-tac-toe all night! We have to do double watch, specifically for stuff like this!
I almost certainly agree. That ghost is terrible at tic-tac-toe.
I'll try to stay up more. I have a hard time falling asleep anyway.
Okay. So,
You think you had a hard time going to sleep? I kept having freaking nightmares, man.
today's round of travel is actually fairly uneventful. Which is odd for the Wastes, especially with y'all's luck. It's a little
Especially given the
too
fact that we
quiet.
had a Dreadcrow not even at the start of the day. It was probably the Dreadcrow's fault, to be honest. It probably killed while coming over.
Maybe the ghost was the ghost of the one who was supposed to be in watch with me.
So, you guys have made it through another day with relative ease. Considering that, the first thing you woke up to in the morning was a Dreadcrow, but it also seems oddly caught at twilight. Like, that, that moment of, like, the sun's about to set, but it hasn't set for, like, 3 hours already. For the Wastelanders and Moop, this is one of the regular events where the time is decided it's just not going to continue the day for who knows how long.
Interesting.
So you are caught in a weird state of twilight for who knows how long. Go ahead and roll a survival check to see if you can ascertain if it should be about the time that you guys should probably be stopping for, like, rest and food and all that. So Doc knows the thing. Yes, you all know that it is time to stop. So, it is once again time to set up camp. Who is going? Are you going to do it comfortable again?
After the Draco incident, I'd rather be a little bit more stealthy than comfortable.
Okay, so I don't think anybody has camouflage. So roll stealth at a -2. Oh, do you have camouflage?
Mayhaps.
If you do, then roll camouflage. Otherwise, somebody will need to roll stealth at a -2.
Who has best stealth? Because
Well,
Yes, so
Uh,
Ashling just met on camo, so no flags.
Alright, you wanted this stuff to. Does this look great?
Amazing.
Hold
I don't
on,
know,
let me
this is
see
my
it
first
from the
time.
sky. It's like a little up. I think
It's
it's
my
good
first
enough.
time doing this, so I don't know if I'm any good at it.
Well, as long as you're not having some neon flags, but I still don't know how it kind of came to be, then you're good.
Why would you have a neon flag?
We don't know where it came from, it just exists.
Do you still have it?
We're not pinning it up!
I
I make a small personal fire.
So, who is going to do first watch?
me.
But we're sleeping again?
Yes. It was an
There's-
uneventful day,
Yeah.
but it is still twilight. It has been so for several hours. The sun has stopped moving. Again.
I'll take first watch.
Okay. Anybody gonna take with?
I'll take first watch too.
So, Hoop and Ashling both need perception rolls. Ashling,
I don't see that.
Muddy Puddle has once again begun wandering off into the distance. This time at a lazy walk.
Look at Muddy. Bring her back.
Oh, snap. Good. Okay. I'll go get her. Come over here, you puddle.
The puddle has been returned to camp.
Mom, I don't want to eat my vegetables.
Hey, Moo.
Vegetables are good for you.
What?
Moo.
They got lots of nutrients and they're green. Well, some of them are green, I think. Yeah, some of them are green. And some of them are tasty. You just need to get them in a very good state. Especially with some gems. It's just gonna be delicious.
Moo.
So, you guys gotta do anything else?
I was saying Moo. And Moo didn't respond.
Oh, let's stop Ashling.
What's it like to know where you're from?
Oh, it's absolutely terrifying.
Oh.
There's just a constant level of anxiety, just not knowing if it really survives. I mean, yeah, having a home to look forward to is great, but you just aren't sure it's actually there. There's a lot that goes on with that.
You see. All I
You
know
don't
is snow
remember
and
anything
ash.
of yours.
I know nothing about where I'm from. I don't know.
Well, we'll find out eventually, one way or another.
And, would I be able to tell you something? Just like
Yeah.
can I get it off my chest, torso? Yeah. I've actually been a little bit afraid of talk. I don't know why. There's something in me. It's just whenever he goes to do mythical things, I just sort of like shut off a bit. I'm just like, ah. I don't know what it is and I don't know why.
Well, maybe it has something to do with your past. something subconsciously still there, left over from however long ago you were around.
Maybe I didn't want to bring it up to them because I know that like Duck does like an important role in our group. It's just I don't know. I feel like others might be like mad at me or something. I don't know. I just feel weird.
Listen, it's important to talk about these things. If you don't trust Doc for one reason or another, it's important to voice that. If you don't want him to do like checks on you, I could do it. I'm one of Doc's apprentices anyway, so I know quite a bit of medical stuff.
I don't think I want to check. I don't need any checks. I don't want any checks.
That's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying in general. I know it's hard to sometimes just trust people out of the blue, and sometimes Doc really is, I look over to Doc. Sometimes Doc is just Doc, so I can see why there's quite a bit of fear. But over time, you guys will get to learn more about each other, and depending on how things go, you guys may learn to trust each other. And stuff. Like, it's a process.
If you insist, I will keep an eye on him though. I do not trust.
Okay.
You should get some rest.
Oh, no, I can't sleep at all.
I think good night.
Who are you two waking up for the next watch?
I'm not waking him up.
Okay.
I'm gonna wake up Nebula. Up.
The puddle is being awoken.
What?
Oh, did you say Nebula or Muddy?
Nebula.
Nebula, okay.
Let me get my beauty sleep.
Why is it that I imagine me saying poke to Nebula and then you just yelling that at me because you're close by?
So Nebula is awake now. You need to do. If I use the right.
Any negatives?
Negatives, not right now. Remember, negatives apply for each night of lack of sleep.
Okay.
Okay. Are we just slowly going to have the entire party wake up to do watch?
No.
So, for the most part, the night is fairly quiet. Nebula mostly alternates between like looking out at the horizon and then up at the sky.
I go over to
I'm just
Nebula.
doing.
Okay.
I ask Nebula in a sort of quieter voice. Do you trust Mope?
She looks at you, tilts her head to one side, and says yes.
Do you trust Duck?
She looks at Doc for a moment before nodding and saying he's just strange, but he means well.
Do you want them safe?
She stops and blinks for a moment before looking at you. It's like, well, yes.
Of course. Sorry if that was weird to ask.
She shrugs before going back to staring at the sky. Did Moop have a thing?
I am kind of going around checking on the others in general right now. When I come to Doc, I just kind of like stare at him for a moment. And I take a pretty deep sigh. Like, it's obvious that there's something to be said, but Doc is just being a sleepyhead right now, so I'm just gonna let him be. Because I know when that motherfucker is up, he is fucking up. Oh.
Okay.
When I'm done circling around everybody, I kind of look at Ashlyn for a moment and I'm like, you're supposed to be asleep.
I couldn't sleep.
Nebula trots over and says, I'm pretty sure both of you should be sleeping.
I'm not tired.
If I sleep, you're probably gonna hear me scream. So, I'm good for today.
She gives a concerned look but doesn't pry any further.
Well, you need rest.
At this, Nebula arcs an eyebrow before saying, you should listen to your own advice.
This concerns you not, Kieran. You should rest, Moop.
Trust me, I'm good.
This is like Canadians getting into a fight.
Oh no!
Oh, wait, I have a better argument. I am the easiest to carry. So if I fall asleep in the middle of the night, someone can easily put me on their... well, rather, in the middle of the day, someone can easily just put me on their back. So, it's not much of a big deal. You, on the other hand, you're tall. So, you should go to sleep.
I'm afraid I can't.
Do you need a blanket?
I cannot sleep.
I want your blankie.
I am not tired. I can't sleep. I will rest another day.
If you insist, I'm not gonna fight you.
Nebula stands up and looks at Moop, says, we should retire. Let's wake up the next two. You can sleep with me.
Go forward, Nebula.
Bruh!
Bruh!
When you didn't need to go there.
Bruh, you know what? In character, go over and smack Puddle. Smack the Puddle.
What the fuck did I do?
I guess it's your turn to watch.
Wake up.
Nebula prods Doc awake.
Another night.
Say that again?
It's another night.
What a horrible night for a curse.
She rests a hoof on your shoulder as she's walking past and says, watch the deer. There's something off about her.
Ooh.
Before laying down, not far from where she woke you up. So, Doc and Muddy need to roll. Does Moon take up Nebula on her offer?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to do a will check.
So, for Doc and Muddy, no Tantibus tonight. Because, tonight is still twilight for some reason. The moon not moving and all that. It looks like you handled that nightmare handily. But, for the most part, it seems pretty quiet, but you do notice as it approaches what should be about morning time, although the sun still hasn't moved, there seems to be just a wall of cloud headed y'all's way. From a vaguely southward direction. Doc, roll an area knowledge.
Nope.
It fills you with a sense of dread, but you don't know what exactly it is.
Lovely.
What do?
We should get going.
And where?
So, I think before we actually go any further, I am going to ask if you guys, do you want to continue for now, or do you want to put a pin in it for the night?
I'm good with that.
What's that?
I'm good with either.
Same.
Pin for the night.
Got one pin for the night.
I'm sleepy, so I'm cool with.
So 2 pins with it for the night, Moon?
Pats the puddle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for those of you that may or may not still be watching, if you want to find out what that mysterious cloud on the horizon was, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And if you would like to show further support, there's the Patreon. You can jump into our Discord, link in the description for both. And I'm going to say a big thank you to my Priest and Zealot tier Patreons. Ellis Xander as the one and only Zealot tier so far. Cameo Shadowness and Sawtooth Waves as my 2 Priest tiers. And if you want a shout out at all of the end of all of the uploads and videos, then feel free to check out the Patreon. Other than that, we will be picking up the Peacemakers of Equestria session again tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for that. Other than that, everybody have a great evening and drink water.
Hydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
I was just about to say that.
dropped upon us all. And the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. The leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came